I don't feel well. My side hurts. Go. Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Pep Talks. I'm Eddie Pepitone. I'm here with my co-host, Steve Lally. Steve, say hello.
Hey, everybody. Good to be here.
Good to be here. I feel good. I feel good and I feel bad. And let's explain I know we have a lot going on in the country. We have a pedophile billionaire, Jeff Epstein, who is associated with many.
He's not a billionaire. Forbes came out and said, "Hey, don't say that guy's maybe a pedophile, but don't claim he's a billionaire."
Yeah,
yeah, he's not actually a billionaire.
Oh, he's
in the high millions, I guess.
He's a
guy who owns a plane.
Yeah. Well, he obviously has a lot of money, and so anyway, we have pedophilia running rampant. We have the country just before we came on, we were just talking about how people are just completely losing their shit via the internet. Nobody really, and we're live on YouTube. Nobody really knows how to communicate face to face. These days, Do
you feel like they used to know how to communicate face to face?
Yeah, people would be like, hey, Arnie. Yeah, Ralph? I just want to say, you want me to pick you up anything at the store? Yeah, Ralph, get me tomatoes and onions. Okay. Whereas people don't know how to do that today. They're like, I don't know if I should
confront.
I don't know if I should ask this guy to pick up tomatoes and onions. But no, you know what I'll do? I'll get Amazon to deliver it, or Postmates. I'll just get it delivered. I don't want to go out there. I don't want to face people. People don't want to face people. Hell is other people is a quote from Jean-Paul Sartre. But anyway,
but that's not why Eddie's hurting today, people.
Well, me and Steve, we filmed. I'm very excited, right?
Yeah, very.
We filmed our, and it'll be, I don't know when it'll come out, but we filmed it today, and we have a couple of voiceovers to do, but we filmed comedians without cars.
Getting soda,
and we had Lime scooters.
Mm-hmm, that was our first motive.
With Sam Tripoli's our first guest.
Yep.
And Lime scooters, and I was doing great the whole day until the end of the day.
A block away, by the way.
A block away from finishing. I had been riding the whole fucking day.
Like a gazelle.
I was a gazelle on this thing. I was like taking to it as a duck takes to water. The sidewalk and the street was my water.
Like a little girl frolicking through a field.
I was a child. Again. I was on this Lime scooter.
And then you saw?
And then I was going from the street to the sidewalk, and I had been doing it all day, and it was a
lip
curb. It was a lip, and there was a high lip, and I said,
I can get
what could go wrong? I've been doing this all day.
So you knew, this is what makes me laugh. You knew the danger.
I thought I'd be okay, and I went down like a fucking ton of bricks, and I'm hurt. I don't know what I have. I'm a hypochondriac.
He took 2 Tylenol.
I'm a hypochondriac. Well, Steve is like, take liquid Advil. Take it immediately. Take liquid Advil.
In that voice, by the way, people.
Yeah.
I changed my voice just so Eddie would listen to me.
Take liquid Advil. So anyway, I had broken a rib once before, and those things suck. And this one is sore, so people are telling me, and by people, I don't mean doctors,
me.
Because I just get my health care from
whoever's around.
Pedestrians.
But that's because you can talk to people. That's because you can speak to people on the street.
Excuse me.
What the hell?
Excuse me, sir.
What the hell is wrong
sir,
with me?
I have kind of a twinge. What do you think it is? What do you do, fall off a lime? Yeah, I fell off a lime. Oh, I did too. I fell off a lime recently. I would say you might have a tear, a muscle tear, or soreness. I would take liquid Advil immediately. Thank you, sir. Ma'am, excuse me, I want a second opinion. You're always supposed to get a second opinion.
Yeah, what did she say?
Ma'am, I have a soreness here. What'd you do, fall off a lime?
Yes, I fell off the Lime. You're a fucking idiot. Man, please, I just want a diagnosis. I have a... What are you doing on your age? at your age. On a Lime scooter.
We're filming a TV show, lady.
Well, you should be in bed. Someone like you. Look at you. You're in no shape to be on a Lime.
And that's when he told her, I will be in bed because of this injury.
Hope not.
I'm going to stay home for 2 days.
Well, what are the symptoms? I'm sore. It's right here. I'm sore. Oh, boy. I had a nephew who died from falling. It started as a twinge underneath his left shoulder breastplate. It sounds like a breastplate problem. All right, I gotta go to my yoga class.
Bingo, come on.
Bingo. All right, thank you, ma'am. Sir, leave me the fuck alone. Did you fall off a Lime? Yeah. So anyway, I'm hoping I didn't.
We had to pry Eddie off the street. He kept asking people what the hell was wrong with him. We had to actually like forcibly bring him back into ATC. He was out there for an hour and a half asking pedestrians
ATC
for
is All Things Comedy.
Yeah, that's our studio. He asked everybody. Finally, we had to, and now we've got him back for the podcast.
So we'll see. It's gotten more and more sore as the day.
And the Tylenol hasn't helped at all?
I don't know. It's sore. But anyway, we'll see. I mean, I'm a trooper. A lot of guys would have said, you know what? I'm not going to do the podcast.
That's the thing. If you were really in duress, we wouldn't be doing a podcast.
That's true. Hey, we have a guest in the studio today. We have Josh Skulski, right? Did I pronounce that right? Yeah. Skulski.
Hey, Josh.
Josh is developing a product, a pre-workout energy drink. We're going to have him on when his product is ready to go. Do you think I fucked up a rib?
Oh my God!
I think you did. You have to. You might lift your shirt up and show us. I told you if it's protruding, that's a bad.
That's going to get us the ratings. Eddie taking his shirt off live on YouTube. We might get banned on YouTube for that.
Yes,
we got to be careful.
Yes.
They might demonetize us. Not that they've paid us any money.
Not that we've been monetized, but hit the donate button, folks. We have a donate button on our peptalkspodcast.com, and we had a couple of people donate this week, and we need more. We need more money. I have injuries. Steve has rent. Our rent keeps going up. My fucking rent
went up
in
again?
this stupid city,
don't
LA.
Don't they control that though? They can only raise.
Don't they control it? This is what I'm dealing with.
But I mean,
no. If you live in rent control, they do. But
right.
But I should really. I just joined a group that is, that protects the rights of renters. So I'm going to check that out. But it's fucked up. The rents keep going up and up and up. Wages are flattened. People are fucking dying, and landlords don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck.
No, one of the biggest things I noticed that gets me so upset is nobody cares about the fucking homeless, man. Nobody cares about the poor and the homeless.
Well, because people are afraid of becoming homeless themselves.
Right. But
people are like, really homeless. It's like Trump, okay? Trump, the reason we hate Trump is because we see the worst of ourselves reflected back at us, meaning narcissistic, racist. We all have that in us. Trump is just a manifestation of our worst selves. And when we look at a homeless person, we're like, holy shit, I am, $100 away from that or whatever it is, Don't you think? And that's why people lash out at the homeless. They're afraid they're going to be like that. That's my take. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I somewhat agree with that, but I also think that people what infuriates me is that people pretend they're like socially active and politically active, yet they don't want to help the poor. They want to donate money to the people, they'll go to give money to the canvassers on a monthly basis for, helping out gay people and putting transgendered bathrooms in places. But
we're going to eat 40 meatballs in 10 seconds now.
Thanks, Eddie.
No, the reason I said that is because that's the kind of stuff that gets big ratings. people do that kind of stuff. They don't talk about, hey, what's the psychology of, anger at the homeless? They eat meatballs.
And by the way, we have a new meatball sponsor that leads in.
No, we don't. But yeah, go ahead.
No, but
you were saying that
it enrages me more to feel like I live in a progressive place when it's really a veneer of progressivism.
Yes, I agree with that.
It makes me more upset.
I agree with that people like to talk about helping the poor, but they don't like the smell of the poor. They don't want to be right next to them. You know what I mean? They literally.
Well, that's all of us. I don't want to be hanging out with the people under the freeway.
Oh, really?
No, I don't really want to. Although when I look at you in that straw hat.
This is a new hat. I don't know if you can see it, but this hat was given to me by a friend who claims that it does a lot. I only wear this hat when I have headphones on, and she says that this should really help. My persona.
Oh my gosh, man! I don't know why I'm in such a silly mood that makes me laugh so hard seeing you with that hat over your headphones.
You know what? Too, this hat keeps me warm. It keeps me warm. And we have had a cold snap here all of a sudden. It went from like 98 today. It's 82.
87.
It's like 87. It's fucking cold out there today. 80 where the things I think about, let's have a meatball eating contest or a hot dog eating contest for all the people who are going underwater. Do you know that a lot of India is underwater? Do you know that a lot of India now has drought conditions? It's so funny that people talk about, climate change is bullshit. Not only is climate change not bullshit, climate breakdown.
Yeah.
Climate breakdown, not bullshit. It's here. It's now.
Well, why do you?
And it's fucking a disaster.
That's why the refugees are coming here.
That's right.
Because in Central America, they're having drought. They can't grow any crops. Right. They're leaving.
It's only going to get worse. But if we can have some, hot dog eating contests or maybe. But I got to admit, though, as I make fun of that, and by the way, we're going to have my friend and genius himself, Paul Kozlowski. Paul is going to. We're going to play some clips from Paul's podcast, and it's a fucking really funny podcast. He's got amazing guests on it, like Stephen Wright.
He's a magician, right? Is he a magician, Kozlowski?
No. Paul, well, he pulls a lot of things out of his ass, but like The Rent. But
maybe he could find some extra up there for you and I.
Yeah. So Paul is going to call in at 4:30. So we have 15 minutes. Now we have some commercials. Stevie, you want to read the first commercial? We have a lot of sponsors on our show. And we haven't gotten any money. These commercials are written by our producer Matt Rasamoto or Rasamoto. And here's the first one, and it's Roundup for your health.
I'm so excited because
Roundup.
Matt, how he writes these commercials. Mm-hmm. He just wants us to have a difficult time saying shit, and he enjoys that. And this first ad is sort of an homage to that. Has your family been looking for a better way to get the great taste and health benefits of Roundup Weed Killer into their diet? Roundup is the hot new superfood that has the culinary world spinning. Make sure your family is getting their daily amount of herbicides by choosing foods with the highest amount of glyphosates like Cheerios, Nature's Valley, and Fiber One. Herbie Herbicide, the most trusted name and animated spokesman, says, "Take it from me, cancer makes your tummy giggle." Walter Bauman, CEO of Bayer, makers of Roundup, tells us, "I eat the 2.3 kilos of Honey the Nut Cheerios for breakfast every morning, followed by 1.2 liters of hot Roundup. I am strong and handsome, and the ladies like me very much, not just for my monies, but also because I can juggle small oranges or possibly apricots. These are things that monsters do not do, I assure you. With the great taste and health benefits, Roundup is the Tide Pods of 2020. Everyone loves guzzling delicious herbicides while enjoying salubriousness of ingesting massive amounts of glyphosates as long as they don't go online or do any research. Roundup, your family for a healthy breakfast.
Now that's based on Monsanto's Roundup, which causes cancer.
Right.
That's
right.
And one reason I know that is because these law firms, and I guess they're doing a good thing, but it seems like they're ambulance chasers. But these law firms are like, have you been exposed to Roundup? Have you been exposed to Roundup? Have you been sprinkling Roundup on your breakfast cereal? Have you ingested Roundup? Are you or are you not on Roundup right now? Because it gives you a buzz. Well, if you are eligible for a settlement. Like you can sue them, I guess. I don't know how Monsanto is getting out of that.
Somebody sued Monsanto. Some class action lawsuit did happen recently. Mm-hmm. Somebody got like $700 million or something. Some landmark decision.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's go to another ad. We're gonna have to buzz through these today. All right, this one is for Face Poop VR. Face Poop VR, and they're good people. I know it sounds gross, but it's really not. As a comic, I'm on the road a lot. I frequently travel to strange and distant lands and get to embrace a wondrous variety of cultures. But like many Americans, I suffer from parcopresis, also termed psychogenic fecal retention or shy pooper. It means I can't just poop anywhere. I need the conditions to be just right, like a good cup of coffee. Facebook, the makers of the Oculus VR headset, has come out with a revolutionary new device to help people with shy pooper syndrome, or SPS, to be able to poop no matter the environment. It's called the Face Poop Virtual Reality Headset. Face Poop VR replaces the real world bathroom environment you are in with a virtual bathroom of your choosing, like a good cup of coffee. Now, your own private bathroom is only a 45-pound backpack and 12-pound sensory deprivation / virtual reality helmet away. So let me read that again. Now, your own private bathroom is only a 45-pound backpack and 12-pound sensory deprivation virtual reality helmet away. So basically, it's a 45-pound backpack, and the helmet is 12 pounds. And so it's easy to have a private bathroom. Once the battery-filled... This side hurts. Once the battery-filled backpack has been fastened to your person and the helmet has been secured and powered, you'll be whisked away to any of the pre-programmed bathroom environments you select. For instance, you can select Grandma's house, 50s gas station washroom. I know I always felt comfortable taking a heaping bowel movement in a 50s style gas station.
Back in the 50s.
Back in the 50s when men were men. Men were men back in the 50s. They're not like they are now. Or you could choose Medieval Dungeon, which is a good place to take a healthy, you know what. How about Glass Table? Glass Table. That's a good one to take a shit on. Has anybody taken a shit? Have you taken a dump on a glass?
Oh my gosh.
Have you relieved yourself?
Once a week I do.
On a glass table,
Once
right?
a week, about approximately. Sometimes twice a week, depending if I need an extra glass table moment.
It feels good. Eiffel Tower. Or a Japanese business meeting. With Face Poop VR, the world is your toilet. Okay. All right, so let's go to a call. We got a bunch of calls too that we want to get to. All right, here we go. Our first one. Let's see if it plays. Yeah.
Hey, Eddie, this is Spencer Hawkins from West Virginia, and I think on your last podcast, you guys were talking a little bit about Bernie Sanders and Tulsi Gabbard is like who you're like rooting for the 2020 election, and I was just curious about that because like in terms of policy, Elizabeth Warren is more closely related to Bernie Sanders like political viewpoints, and I was wondering like what you're looking for in a candidate. And if you're looking for a progressive, there's a thing on the Young Turks website. It's also another podcast on a news channel, and they have a progressive pledge that you should go sign and like have everybody go sign. And basically, if you're a progressive, you can sign this pledge, and it upholds all the values of being a progressive and holds political figures to those viewpoints as well. Like Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, and a bunch of others have already signed it, and we're hoping to get more signatures. So, all right, bye.
Yes. Now, remember, yes, thank you, Spencer, for that call. Yeah, well, I'm a Bernie guy. Steve, you're a Bernie guy. We're Bernie guys because Sanders has been the most consistently progressive candidate, and he's dragged a lot of candidates in the so-called Democratic Party, right, which sold out the working man and woman many years ago in the 80s, with starting with Clinton, I think. Bill. Sanders has been the most consistently, truly progressive, and he's called out the war machine now. He's called out, the fact that we're having endless wars. He wants single-payer health care, and, he wants a better, he legitimately wants a better life for people. Warren has some good stuff too, Elizabeth Warren, but I'm a Bernie Sanders guy through and through.
Here's my problem with Elizabeth Warren, and where Tulsi Gabbard wins over Elizabeth Warren is that she actually came out and endorsed Bernie Sanders in 2016, whereas Elizabeth Warren cowered behind Hillary Clinton until it was time to endorse her, and that's highly suspicious to me. And I'm suspicious of all these Democrats because I'm like Eddie, like you. I'm suspicious that they're all mouthing and talking Bernie Sanders
a lot of
shit,
them are,
and so they can win.
Yeah.
And then once they win, because they think you're fucking stupid,
right,
and you'll buy it. Once they win, they'll just go back to being a solar panel on top of a gas station, and the media will bury all of the neoliberal shit that they do in the news, like they did for Obama, by the way, who told us he was going to do alternative. He told us all
watch
this shit.
Big Little Lies. That's a good. That's a good show. But also another thing, Spencer, is that I just, again, a quote I've used many times on here, which is, I think it was Father Ted Berrigan, but it was, hey, if elections worked, they wouldn't be legal. That's not to say don't vote, but it's going to take, for so many people, the dystopian reality is already here, and we need to have massive nonviolent movements to put real pressure, people in the streets, people demonstrating en masse. Like I was talking about the housing situation here in LA.
They're having organized stuff, by the way. There's
well, I'm in the middle of Big Little Lies. I can't do any kind of marching right now.
Well, that makes me feel better about Game of Thrones. But hey,
but what are they doing, Matt?
Bernie Sanders raised $18 million last quarter from my $3 donations. So what that means is that there's a massive left in this country that is there. But it's not represented on CNN or Fox
of course not.
Or MSNBC.
Of course not.
Those people have to all get loud and start, really causing trouble and causing, mayhem, blocking streets.
That's right.
And that's
right.
when shit.
Which there's Extinction Rebellion is a great example of a group that's very organized. They blocked. They've done a bunch of movements. They shut down London. you know, and it's stuff like that we need to do, you know. Okay, here's another call before Paul calls in.
Hey, Eddie. It's Jeff. Jeff Epstein. I'm stuck in traffic right now. Stuck in traffic. I'm telling you, man. Sex traffic.
You know,
Eddie, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How do you know Jeff Epstein? When did you guys meet, and how many trips have you taken with him?
well, you know, Jeff likes my message. No, but do you know I just got that joke that he goes, I'm stuck in traffic, and then at the end he says sex traffic. Did you hear that?
No,
Under his breath.
I thought he said bad traffic.
No, he said sex traffic. It was a joke. Well, thank you. That was a good, funny phone call. And here's another one. Here we go.
Hey guys, love the message there. This is Keith in Madison, Wisconsin.
I don't think
I'm just calling
not going to play this
about a huge problem of a thing that's happened where I was engaged to a woman. We were about to. Oh fuck, man! I'm gonna have to call back. I can't even talk about this now. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to figure out a way to like not send it.
Okay. Yeah, this guy, Keith, I'm sorry, man. You're going through problems, and you know, hang in there, buddy. It always gets better. And I hope my rib. I don't know if it's a rib. I hope this gets better. Okay. All right. Here's another call. Here we go.
Hey, Eddie, how you doing? As someone who wants to support comics like you, I just have a couple things that I just about want to be clarified. When it comes to your numbers, like formats like Laughable and podcast alternatives, when people subscribe to you on those alternatives, are your numbers skewed? Or because I'm asking that because do the numbers are they all concentrated on exclusively iTunes numbers? That I'm wondering. And also, if there was like ever a chance, if you want to maintain this conviction integrity against our whole state of culture, is there like a chance?
Oh, okay. Paul is called. Hey, we have Paul. We interrupted a phone. We interrupt this podcast to bring you something worse than an attack from an alien civilization. A phone call from Paul Kozlowski. This get your women and children inside as Paul Kozlowski, who spread his horror all over Los Angeles until he had to leave in disgrace for upstate New York, is now on the line. Hey, Paul.
Eddie, I just broke up. I can't talk about it.
Did you break up with Keith?
Yeah.
Hey, buddy. Now, Paul Kozlowski's a fucking genius, and that's why he isn't doing well. I am also a genius. I fell off a Lime scooter today. Paulie, we have you on here because I want to promote your podcast, which I think is genius. It's called Guess Who Showed Up. Am I right?
Look who showed up.
Ah,
but
fuck.
are you sure you don't want to
Cut
do
the call.
Commercials?
Cut the call. What? Yeah, man.
Look who showed up.
Look who showed up. That's right. And who are some of the people on this podcast? Look who showed up. Who's on this podcast?
Well, every episode has north of 30 comedians like Stephen Wright, Kyle Kinane, Jackie Cation, Dana Gould, Wendy Liebman, you, Tony Kameen, a lot of other people, Ken Rogerson.
It's just a great
Susan
podcast.
Nakamura.
Oh, yeah. Now, so let's get right to it. You want to play a clip? You sent us a bunch of clips. Yeah, go ahead. What, Paul?
Clip one is from my first episode where every episode I throw a party. That's the idea.
That's right.
And all these comedians are at my house at a party. So the first episode, I'm throwing a podcast launch party. And this is you giving me some podcast advice in clip number one.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, hi, Eddie. You know Eddie Pepitone.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, so you have a podcast, right?
Yeah, you could call it that, I guess. I mean,
So what are your interviewing techniques? Do you have any? When you're interviewing someone, how do you get them to answer?
how do I get them answer? I just kind of I try to draw them in, and first you flatter them, like, oh, I really enjoyed what you did.
I don't think I could do that.
Was that a canapé?
If you could interview anybody in history, who do you think it would be?
I think I would interview just
You wanna pause it and I'll tell
the
him?
average guy on the street.
Hello?
Hey, Paul, you're watching it live on YouTube, and we're getting feedback from that. So, can you?
I know, isn't that great?
Man, that was so pleasant.
Isn't that great? Hey, Eddie, you're
So-
14 listeners watching. I'm probably pissed off now.
Is it four? Are we up to 14?
That's a lot.
You're up to 15. It just turned to 15.
Can you see that on the
Yeah.
screen? Is that what we're dealing with? 15 people. But we released this on SoundCloud tomorrow.
So it goes up to 30.
All right, so can you cut this part out?
Oh yeah. But so you turn off YouTube so we could listen to this from the beginning, okay?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Ready? Let's do it.
It's funnier the second time.
Absolutely.
Oh, hi, Eddie. You know Eddie Pepitone.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, so you have a podcast, right?
Yeah, you could call it that, I guess. I mean,
So what are your interviewing techniques? Do you have any? When you're interviewing someone, how do you get them to answer?
how do I get them answer? I just kind of I try to draw them in, and first you flatter them, like, oh, I really enjoyed what you did.
I don't think I could do that.
Was that a canapé?
If you could interview anybody in history, who do you think it would be?
I think I would interview just, the average guy on the street in like the 800s. The 800s.
Not the 9 or the...
No, the
7?
900s and the 700s, the 900s, I think have been done. But 800s, you never hear anybody from like 850. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like, and I would just want to, and an average guy, like a guy who blocks hats. You know what I mean?
Did
A
they
guy-
have hats back then?
Of course and hat blockers, Mad Hatter. People work with mercury vis-a-vis hats. I would love to, of course they had hats. They had to have a lot of hats back then to cover up the fact that most of their heads were bashed in because of the cruelty. That was a time when people were getting hit with catapults and truncheon. There was a lot of truncheon work.
Interesting. So, Eddie, do you have any tips on how I can finish my podcast with a snappy ending?
Go fuck yourself.
Well, I was just sorry. I was just trying to,
That's how I end all my interviews.
Oh, good to know. Well, nice talking to you, Eddie.
Is Mark Maron coming to this party?
Paul?
Eddie.
Yeah, I tell you, I love listening to myself because, I'm glad we played that clip first because I just... Do you bathe in yourself? Do you know what I mean when I say that? Do you bathe in yourself?
I can't deal with it, but you're down to 14, so we lost.
We lost one? We lost one? You're the first person...
Just one guy from that last clip.
Somebody who didn't want to bathe in that.
No.
We'll make it back.
Yeah. Well, do you know, by the way, 14, right? It's not the quantity. It's the quality of listener. You know what I mean, Paulie?
Oh, and I'm reading their comments. Colin McKenzie says, "Yo, Eddie."
Colin! You know Colin, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's play another clip. What's the next one?
Really? You want to play another one so fast?
Of course, because I want people to get a sense. That was kind of me, but what I loved about the podcast is when you have this one, you have this comedian, this comedian, this comedian. You know what I mean? Let's do that.
All right. So let me just say, I recorded everybody separately and then mixed them together so it sounds like they're together.
I can't believe that. It sounds so good. How long did it take you to edit this baby?
Forever.
Forever, right?
So how about clip 3? Can we skip to clip 3?
Let's do it.
Aaron, can we skip to clip 3? Here we go. Here we go, Paulie.
Hey, if you guys could have you guys ever had work done, or would you get work done?
Like
redecorating your body.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Why not?
Yes, I can't wait
I
to
beg him to.
I'm thinking of having all of my muscles removed, shaken out, and then put back on my skeleton.
I like shit. I like where you're going with this.
Doesn't that sound like a great idea?
I like non-traditional plastic surgery.
That's it. I want to start from the inside.
I can't wait to get face work done. I want to look like John Travolta.
Oh, that'd be great.
I'm down with that stuff too.
But you know what? The face work, you can always tell. There's something horrifying.
Well,
you see someone, you can tell they've had,
Oh.
like their eyes are too wide or something.
Absolutely.
No, you don't think Kenny Rogers' eyes look like that? You got to know when to hold them, when to fold them with those. He's got no more
can't
fold.
fold.
He's got no folds.
No.
So now he just holds them.
Okay.
That's what it looked. That's why his eyes look like that.
Yeah, he's holding
He's
them
always
open.
holding them.
I had my belly let out, and I had my hair removed because I...
You know who you are.
Well, I think I was too pretty before this work, and
Yeah.
I would never... In other words, I've had work done so I could get some work done. The other way, I was just having sex constantly.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I think it's boring
Yes.
after a while.
Yep.
Sure does.
No, but I would certainly can't wait to get hair plugs. Right, I'm just got to find the right doctor. And
Are they any good now? Because for a while you look like one of those dolls.
Oh
with
no,
the
they're
hair pulled out.
You can't even tell. Look at George Clooney. He's bald.
No way.
Wow.
That's all plugs.
I'm fascinated by guys that have hair in this town that shouldn't have hair. Not this many guys should have hair.
So plugs work now.
Now
Yes.
look at George Clooney. You want to look like George Clooney?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. There you go. Get hair plugs.
All right.
I got a theory about baldness. Anybody?
Yeah,
Anybody
yeah,
want to-
no, sure
This
enough,
is it.
right up, sure.
I think it's God's way of saying you got a good-looking head. Get rid of that hair. Get that out of the way.
That's what I'm
Good-looking
going.
skull.
I'll
That's
take
what
that
I'm
one.
going with.
Thank you for that.
Well, that's fine. I think the universe is like that. The way that cranium looks, you're just gonna mix it up if you got hair there.
Right.
I thought about just starting to wear a toupee.
Yes. Oh my God, that would be great.
Oh, there you go.
You know,
Bring the
just-
tube back.
Yeah, just straight up like
Bring
doing
back the rug.
You know what? Toupee and a dickie.
Oh, I love 'em.
That'd be a good look for you.
it.
Without another shirt.
Yeah, just over my t-shirts.
Yeah.
Boy, right?
Oh, you know, I'm glad my hair fell out. Paul, when did your hair start falling out?
About 3? 3 or 4?
When you were 3 or 4.
Yeah.
It just never grew in.
It's been downhill ever
It's
since.
been bald from the beginning. The
Yeah.
mustache was there.
I had a receding hairline when I was, 8.
Oh.
So.
Look like a detective.
But I look good.
Drank a lot
I
of
look
black
like an
coffee.
8-year-old detective. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go try to detect what my interior decorator is up to. Excuse me.
Gosh, that was great.
Yeah,
Oh,
and this is
man.
all these episodes,
Those people weren't all together. That was
and it's thematic, right, Paul?
None of those-
like the one.
None of those comics have ever met each other.
How did you added in some ambient noise that made it sound like you guys were in a
party?
Yeah.
It's all a party. Yeah, Steve is a little.
That is a small cocktail party ambiance.
Small cocktail. Party.
You'll find it on the background CD.
How many
that
listeners?
disguises
How
all the
many
different mics I
people?
was using.
How many people do we have, Paul, on YouTube right now? Do you know?
You're down to 14 again.
Damn it!
Oh, but that means we went back up to 15 for a minute.
Okay.
You were up 15 for about a minute and a half.
As soon as his
And I
clip
really-
went off,
really hoping to hit
we
16.
went back down to 14.
Hey, Margaret, look at this on YouTube. I don't know. They're jerking off here about some kind of party. Margaret, do we have the background CD? I love this ambient. So, Paul, we have time for one more clip. Which one do you want it to be?
Well, I've got one with me and Stephen Wright and Ken Rogerson, and I have another one with a bunch of people. So you choose.
Let's try the Stephen Wright one.
All right, this is every episode. Every episode is a different party, and in every episode, Stephen Wright and Ken Rogerson is a hilarious comedian out of Boston.
Mm-hmm.
I find them in a different part of my apartment.
Right.
And in this episode, I find them in my bedroom hiding under my covers.
Aaron,
and that is clip number 4.
Clip 4. Okay. All right, we're going to go to clip 4.
Oh, there you are, under my covers. Do you mind if I join you?
No, please do. Come in, can you get in the middle, please?
But
be careful, because $50 if you get in the middle.
All right.
Please.
Hi, guys.
I don't want to get into it.
Just be careful, because we don't have flashlights, so we're using these lighters. So hopefully your blankets are flame retardant.
Thank God I've got flame-proof sheets. Do you remember your dreams?
I've never had a dream.
Really?
No.
I've had some of yours. That's the weird thing.
Steve, you don't dream, really?
I've never had. I had one dream where I was standing near a dog. That was the whole dream.
You just standing near a dog?
I don't know if I can't remember my dreams or I don't have them.
Really?
Wow.
You know, I was married to a woman who had a dream. I had a nightmare that my horse was stuck in the mud and he couldn't get out. I go, that's your nightmare? I have people chasing me through an alley trying to gut me like a fish with a machete. But your nightmare is your horse that's stuck in the mud.
Did she really have that dream?
Yes, that was her nightmare. Her horse was stuck in the mud.
This was a recurring dream?
I don't know.
I don't know. Get off my back. I don't even see. I'm divorced from the woman. How do I know if she has the same dream over and over?
I don't call her up and go, ever have that horse dream again?
How's the horse dream going? Click.
I wonder if dogs have dreams of standing next to you, Steve.
I hope so. That would be completely.
I believe that
that's
dogs.
Canine eroticism.
I had a dream that a dog. You were dancing with a dog. Very tall.
No, that wasn't a dream. That was a few years ago in Somerville. I think I didn't dream for security reasons.
I don't want anybody getting into your...
I really do have dreams.
You mean you didn't know the password to your dreams? Like you had to.
I'm always forgetting my dream password.
It was a 6-numbered thing, and you just kept. Oh, is it 0 or 8? Dang.
No, I didn't get the password, so I didn't go in.
Right.
But I think the only dreams are good because that's how you know you were asleep. If you don't have a dream, you don't know that you were asleep. There's just a piece of time missing.
That's not true.
We
a lot
might
of times
be sleeping right now.
when you wake up behind the wheel of a car, you don't remember dreaming, but you know you were asleep. You see what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
I used to dream that I was driving a car, and then I would wake up and I was actually driving a car.
Oh wow, that's good.
Yeah, my dreams are very, very real.
That's why you're still here.
That's why I'm still here, and a lot of people aren't, especially hitchhikers.
Hey, Steve.
Yes. Good.
Since we're lying in bed,
yes.
Yeah.
Could you read Ken and I a bedtime story?
Okay. Let me see. Let me get this book, Bible. How to hear boats. Bedtime story. There once was a walnut named Dennis. He was turned inside out and then he died. The end.
Oh. You know what? My father used to read that to us.
Yes, please.
There once was a dog who couldn't fly. The end. I want another one.
Yes, please.
Do you have any shorter ones?
There once.
Because this is kind of eating up a lot of our time. Go ahead.
Once upon the end. Let's get going. Go to sleep. Once upon the end. Go to sleep.
Kids. I'm not going to keep. You
telling
already heard it 3 times. Yeah. It ends the same way.
Why?
Once upon a time, the end.
What's wrong with you?
Well, you just made me wet the bed, so I'll be right back.
Ah, man, these are great.
Man, that was really funny.
These are great. Yeah.
Yeah, those guys were hilarious.
Yeah, Stephen Wright.
And it was kind of all improvised. And then I just had everybody kind of talk about the same stuff, and then it made it seem like they were all talking to each other.
So where can people find your podcast, Look Who Showed Up?
Unfortunately, I don't have it posted anywhere.
See, this is what I love about Paul. Paul is an artist, and Paul says fuck you to the establishment, and so do I. I don't want more than 14 people watching me at a time on YouTube. As a matter of fact, I make YouTube cut it at 15 people. You know, we go back and forth between, because me and Paul and Steve were artists. So, no, where can people find the podcast?
You can find it at iTunes.
Or
paulkozlowski.com.
Okay.
And we just put out the 6th episode. 7th one is coming out beginning of the month.
Awesome.
And
these are great, man.
Paul,
I've got 3 subscribers.
You're a brilliant guy. I mean, I didn't think anything today would make me laugh harder than the video of Eddie falling off that Lime scooter. And those clips actually, I think my rib is broken now. That is some funny shit.
Yeah, it's really
Thank you.
funny stuff. So look who showed up, and hopefully it'll get a wider berth. 14 people have seen this.
If I can get up to, I have 3 subscribers. If I can get up to 17.
Do you have a donate button?
I do. No one's used it yet, so I don't know if it works.
You got to test that thing out. All right, Paulie, thank you so much, buddy. We'll have you on.
Eddie.
We'll have you on
Thank
again.
you, Stephen.
Hey, nice meeting you, Paul. Thank you.
All right, see you later, Paulie.
Nice meeting you. I'm gonna go practice my magic.
Oh shit! All right, Paul.
That was awesome.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Let's finish that call we started and it got interrupted. Another call. Oh, I guess Aaron isn't ready. You are? Okay. I don't know why I wouldn't play. Here we go.
Like the Millennium Falcon trying to go into hyperdrive.
Huh. Maybe we shouldn't do any more calls because. Aaron, any reason why it's not working? Not that I can think of. Okay, well, let's just talk. We'll get to people's call. We have a few more calls. Let's see, feature, hello. Yeah, we have a couple more calls, but we've done a lot of that. So why don't we just chat it up? That's a brilliant. Just taking all these comedians, he recorded them separately and then edited it together around topics. You see, for me, that's
to
too
me
much
that
work.
should be the most popular podcast in the world.
Yeah.
But it really merit doesn't really.
We don't live in a meritocracy.
No, we certainly don't. Because that was so fucking funny, man. Just a few minutes of that.
Yeah.
I would never
They're
want to
very
put
funny.
that much work into a podcast.
Well, yes. Well, you see, this is the work that goes into this baby. I've got my big idea for the podcast was to put a hat on my fucking headphones. And that's because I care about you. Okay? I care about you, the audience. I don't just come here and show up. I'm like,
He
"Hold it."
worked for minutes pulling that hat over those headphones for you people.
I was like, hold it. Let me give these people some fucking bang for their buck. And here I should take this off now. Okay. So, great podcast. Look who showed up.
Yeah.
Paul Kozlowski. Let's.
We watched the Rolling Thunder review, both of us.
Oh, that's right.
Eddie. The Bob Dylan tour.
Bob Dylan. Martin Scorsese put. Now, what did Scorsese do?
He compiled the footage that guy filmed, the filmmaker who went and filmed all that shit. The stiff guy who goes, hey, he looked like a stockbroker.
Wasn't he a little insane?
Yeah,
that filmmaker.
He was talking some crazy shit.
Right.
He goes, I want to mark my territory. I filmed this. I'm here to stake my claim.
If you don't know what we're talking about, on Netflix, Scorsese put together a doc on Bob Dylan's Rolling Thunder review. It was a tour. Joan Baez,
Joni Mitchell.
Joni Mitchell joined
Sharon
it.
Stone.
Sharon Stone
Was a groupie touring with Bob Dylan.
Yeah, unbelievable. The part where her legs go in, and
my favorite was when he goes, I wrote a song for you. She was a kid, and he took
what
her
was
on,
it?
And he goes, I wrote a song for you, and he starts playing the piano. And he starts singing just like a woman, and she breaks just like a little girl, and she starts crying. And then it wasn't until later that week that she found out he wrote that song 10 years before.
He's just, But I tell you, now we were talking about celebrity worship, right? And what were your impressions of the film? Like some of your impressions of this?
Dude, I was moved by it. I was moved by Allen Ginsberg because he was so, he reminded me of you a little bit.
Ginsberg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit because he was so honest. He's emotionally honest guy.
Yeah.
And Dylan was fine. Dylan was amazing. The performances were amazing and this. But it was a little comical, the celebrity worship and the people who were putting so much value on these people who were just singing and dancing and writing and singing songs and stuff. It almost was a little absurd. And I realized it was a different time, and I'm looking at it from the future, you know, but it was a little there was something that was a little like, do these people not know how ridiculous this is? This is
because they were too worshipful of Bob Dylan?
All of it. They were too worshipful of all of it. The whole thing, like it was gonna, you know, like it was gonna do something. It was filling some void.
Well, it was. And, you know, we're talking about celebrity worship and how our culture is a celebrity culture. Like, you know, you don't hear about, like, people, first of all, people want to be celebrities. Everybody wants to be a celebrity. Everybody thinks because they have a Facebook page and a fucking phone camera, you know, that they are celebrity. You know what I mean? And everybody, the camera is turned on yourself. Like, it's Life the movie now, right? Everybody is living Life the movie. Like, people don't just fucking live. They don't live. They have to be like with the phone. Oh, let me get a picture of this, you know? Let me get a picture of this, you know? Oh, could you hold it? We're going to put this up on Instagram. By the way, follow me on Instagram. I have a pretty good Instagram account. But you know what I mean? Like, everybody wants to, it's at Eddie Pep on Instagram. But people want their lives, like, it's like, you know, it's like the Truman Show.
Right, but we swim in the same water, you know. I mean, what
water are you talking about?
The one that you are on Instagram in, you know, the one that you need people to follow you on Instagram. Although you're joking, but we need. This is what we were talking about before the show. We need people to follow us and want to see our shit. Otherwise, we can't do our shit. We can't. We're not going to be able to.
Right, but that doesn't mean we can't have an awareness that we are a sick society, you know, because of the narcissism. Again, I'll bring it back to Trump. He is the embodiment of a narcissist. He happens to be our president, which is so fucking insane. By the way, does anybody know how insane it is that Donald Trump is our president? That is, it just means that we now live in an inverted reality. We live in a funhouse fucking mirror. And again, we've talked about this before, that Trump isn't the problem. Trump has just been vomited up by
a malfunctioning machine,
by a corporate coup d'etat, corporations taking over and buying the electoral process. There's no democracy anymore. So everybody's been, you know, so many people have been cast aside. They voted for Trump because he had the skill. He's a little reality TV shithead. So Trump had the skill to, like, harness people's complete alienation and anger. Like, he talks, it's hilarious. A billionaire talking down to the elites is what he does. You know, he makes fun of politicians. He makes fun of the establishment. I'm going to drain the swamp. He is the swamp, and he always has been a part of it. But so we live in this world of celebrity worship.
Okay, but the Rolling Thunder's different because
it is.
Because it was the counterculture. See, I'm not old enough to. I wasn't there. I'm not old enough to kind of. First of all, I'm still processing what I saw just a couple of days ago. But I'm also not old enough to have lived close to that time where that was the year I was born, Eddie. 1976. That was the year I was born. Wow. So I don't know.
I'm a year older than you. I can't believe it. I have the aging disease, by the way.
Aged
disease. I am actually 28. But show business has fucking aged me. It's
I thought it was the work you had done. The work you had done where you
I've had work done because I was too pretty. But anyway, I'm only 28. Go ahead. So yeah. So it was the counterculture.
So
you're going to talk about that.
The counterculture and the counterculture becoming the celebrity culture. Okay?
Right.
So I'm still trying to understand where one ended and the other one began. How was it always? I'm processing. I don't quite understand it all.
I hear what you're saying.
But there was some comical circus going on.
Well, the counterculture was bought off, right? Don't you think?
obviously, but when, how, what? I mean, the artists allowed themselves to become.
Well, the artists did just what you want,
Right.
which is money.
Right.
Money, have a good living.
Right.
You know. But some artists, and Dylan is one. I love Bob Dylan. I mean, I know he's done commercials, and that has fucked me up. Like Bob Dylan recently, he did a car commercial. He did a commercial for the IBM computer Watson. I just feel like Dylan is fucking with people. I mean,
He's fucking with people.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, when I burped, I felt a pain. You don't think it's broken?
No, I don't think so, Eddie. But if it isn't feeling better,
Josh,
in 48 hours.
Josh, do you have a name for your pre-workout product yet? No name?
By the way, yeah, it does have a name, but by the way, it could be internal bleeding too. You got to be careful. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man,
shit.
that's
You
not
see-
a funny fucking joke.
Oh,
See,
Josh
that's
just
the kind
made
of
me-
humor that's uncalled
Josh said it
for.
might be internal bleeding, and I swear to God, I am such
Did
a
you see his face?
fucking hypochondriac.
Oh my God.
I am such a hypochondriac that I'm like, fuck
You
me.
stopped breathing there for a second.
I know.
You'd be so fucked if it was. It's
It
not.
was? Really?
No, you would have already no.
Mhm.
You're fine, man.
Okay.
Dude. You're sitting here, it's fine.
Hey, sir.
I'm one of them.
Do you
yeah.
do you think this is internal bleeding? What? No, you go fuck yourself. But yeah, so go ahead. Let's finish up this thought.
Eddie, I love how you always you always punctuate my serious thoughts with a fucking. You find a moment, man. You find a good soft moment to like to just stick it in and twist it. No, the counterculture becoming.
Yeah.
I'm not judging it. I'm not judging it because I haven't made up my mind. I don't know what, but it's weird to watch the crowd. There's one moment in the documentary where there's this girl in a cafe, and she turns to the guy next to her and she says, "You know, there's something bizarre about people showing up 2 days before the concert and waiting in line to buy tickets. But I did it too." She said, "I did it too." So, you know, but there is something weird about people.
People now turn up and wait online to buy an iPhone. You know what I mean? It's not even a person anymore to see. Like Bob Dylan, I could see waiting online for Bob Dylan 2 days. No, because you know, unless I could watch Big Little Lies on an iPad, I need a Wi-Fi connection.
It's Bob Dylan's kids' generation that's turning up to buy the iPhone. So where did it go wrong? I'm very curious. I'd like to get to the bottom of it and find out how this great counterculture that stopped the Vietnam War and.
Well, what happened, I mean, if you want to talk about that, what happened was these motherfuckers, and by that I mean the military-industrial prison complex, they took the heart out of, quote-unquote, the movement by buying our government. I mean, you know, the counterculture has been thwarted. I mean, now we have some resistance, quote unquote, coming up, but weren't they bought out by corporations? They were propagandized.
I don't know, dude. That's why I'm
well,
asking.
you know, you watch history.
I mean,
right?
I feel
mean,
like
that was Vietnam War, right?
Right.
And it was such an unpopular war, right? Because the networks showed the fucking deaths on television. They read the names of the dead on television. And now, we've been waging war in the Mideast now.
Yemen.
Don't curse at me. We've been waging war in the Mideast for 17 years running, I think. Something like that. It's all sanitized now because the Pentagon...
They realized
the
PR, they needed to.
The PR wing of the Pentagon realized no more
freedom.
It's all sanitized.
Yeah.
It's all fucking sanitized, right? So, you know, people.
So what they did is they absorbed it instead of making it instead of fighting it head on. The counterculture, they just absorbed it. They just went, here, I'm going to buy this. I'll buy that. I'll buy up the things that are against me.
We have, you know, and I've talked about this before. In this country, we have the biggest propaganda machine ever ever constructed in the world. People talked about, that Soviet, that Russia has the biggest propaganda machine. There is no bigger propaganda machine than the corporate propaganda that we get here in the United States through, mainstream media, and all of that. You know what I mean? Like, we're bombarded with just consumerism. And that's what's happened to the counterculture. We're bombarded with, get the iPhone, which I have. Get this.
This is what'll help your life.
This car. Be famous. Be rich. And people are numb. They're numb, and also another way they stop a counterculture is by making people just worry and struggle for their fucking survival.
I do know, because I get these social action emails and texts from groups that are organizing against homelessness, and they call me to come and join. And I'm like, man, I really want to be there, but I have to do this on that day. I can't go. And
you're busy trying to survive.
I'm busy trying to survive, man. And and today this happened. I got a text from this group. They're organizing to try to curb homelessness in the Los Angeles area. And there's this LA, I forget the name of the thing. I should know it. But anyway, they texted me and I said, I'm sorry, I can't be there. They wanted me to come tomorrow.
By the way, I just got an alert on my phone, and this is CNN, so it's gone mainstream. A new probe aims to learn whether the U.S. Defense Department experimented with ticks as bioweapons and if they were released. A lot of people think Lyme disease. There's a book called Bitten about this, and a lot of people think Lyme disease, or know that Lyme disease was fucking created by the U.S. Defense Department with bioweaponry. And,
it got loose on us.
Yeah. So many people suffer from Lyme disease. It's unfucking real.
It's gruesome. Is it a terrible
It's horrible. Lyme disease is fucking hard. It ruins people's lives. Some of them die, and now they're talking about the origin of it. Was it the Defense Department? We'll see. Follow that story. But all right, Aaron, what's minute mark are we at? All right, so we're done.
Wow.
We're done. We'll play some calls again next week that we didn't get to this week. Thanks for Paul Kozlowski calling in. Look Who Shut Up is his podcast, great podcast with amazing comics. Do you want to plug anything, Stevie?
I just want to say, watch and look out for Comedians Without Cars Getting Soda. It's going to be the funniest shit you've seen. I'm hoping. I won't disappoint you, but it's going to be starring that guy, Eddie Pepitone.
I fell off a Lime scooter.
No other reason. You get to watch Eddie Pepitone fall off a Lime scooter. I mean, that we could, hit the donate button. Anyway, that's all I have to say. And donate to his medical expenses, because he's going to need it. Next is a rickshaw. Next episode. So.
Yeah, and I'm going to be in Woodstock, New York. I am going to be July 31st. My sister's birthday, July 31st, I'm going to be at the Colony in Woodstock, New York, July 31st. So please, if you're in New York area, upstate or otherwise, if you're downstate, drive upstate. It's going to be a great show. Next week, the Pep Talks podcast, we're celebrating our 200th episode, and we're going to take a short hiatus after that. Just short one, Now's just a couple of years will be off. Now's your chance to fill all of our holes with your calls and emails. Send us your questions, thoughts, and an in-depth list of your deviant sexual escapades now before we take our summer break. Don't forget to check out the amazing donate button on our website, where you can press a button that magically puts your money in our pockets. By the way, we're going to have a special guest next week. Don't forget. Oh, I did the donate. Okay. And while you are pushing things, try pushing buttons marked like and or subscribe wherever you might see them. Also, because you have nothing else in your life, write us a review on iTunes and we will read it on the air right about here. We know our voices are the only thing keeping you from tumbling into the tar black depths of endless and desperate insanity. So why not drop us a line? Leave us a message at 424-262-0266.
424-262-0904. That's 424-262-0904. Or email us at fanmail@peptalkspodcast.com. Visit peptalkspodcast.com. Our engineers are Emma Erdbrink, and today we were in the studio with Aaron Brungardt. And our producer has been Matt Rasamoto. We've had Josh Skalski in here. He'll be back talking about his pre-workout drink. And that's it, everybody. Thank you for watching on YouTube, the 14 of you.
See you next week.
It was between 14 and 15. I know it's probably down to 6. And then SoundCloud tomorrow. Okay, bye.